Ladies and gentlemen, it's your sweet Zionist Prince Tal, the traveling clad, coming to you live from Israel right now. We're taking a look at some clips from the Palestine conference, which is apparently a thing now. I did not know this event was taking place in America. People's Conference from Palestine, and no other but Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, Michigan is becoming a caliphate state now for the Arab world. So this is a clip from Stop Anti-Semitism, which is just maybe the cringiest name on planet Earth. Yeah, I got a lot of critiques for our own people, don't worry. People's Conference for Palestine, Detroit, Michigan. Nidal Jabur calls for violence against those in Israel, Washington, and Europe. They need to be taken out. They need to be neutralized. Sounds like a lovely guy. Nidal Jabur, this monster is a doctor at Advanced Care Medical Clinic in Dearborn, Michigan. Let's take a look.
It's time for us to pay back and stop the criminals, the perpetrators, the child murderers, and we all know who they are. We all know who they are, whether they are in Israel, in Tel Aviv, in Washington, in Germany, in Europe. We all know them. We all know them. They need to be locked up. They need to be taken out. They need to be neutralized to save children. It's time for us to pay back.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's keep importing this, guys. This is a good job. This is not a problem. Keep bringing in more of this. And by the way, while you're at it, vote in a jihadist in New York City as the mayor. That'll definitely help the situation. So we have our main our retarded congresswoman with what I may think at this point, and not discriminating against people with Down syndrome or autism, but I'm fairly certain that she is autistic. And I've been kind of certain of this for many years. And not in a sense of discrimination against autistic people. God forbid, I would never do that. But just consider we've voted in as a nation an autistic congressperson, and now she has a platform to speak on things she doesn't understand. The same thing as Greta Thunberg. It's the same idea. Okay, so she's got a pimp out for the Palestine conference as our only Palestinian congressperson. Represented Rashida Tlaib at the People's Conference for Palestine. They thought they could kill us. Now we're in Congress. God bless you, America. Good job on that one. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib uses deeply personal and militant language, tracing her family lineage back to Palestinian villages and portraying her very presence in Congress as a form of resistance. I'm not just a typical Palestina. I'm a Falaha. They thought they could kill us, rape us, and imprison us, violently uproot us from our olive tree farm, starve our children to death, and we would disappear. Well, guess what? Now we're in Congress, and we're in every corner of the United States. Let's take a look at this fucking retarded clip.
I like to remind people that I'm not just a typical Palestinian, I'm a Falaha. Y'all, this incredible, beautiful city that raised me makes me emotional because you need to know this is the city that sent the granddaughter of Shama Dajani from Beit Hanina, the granddaughter of Muftiya and Isa Abdullah from Beit al-Foka. They sent this granddaughter of Palestine to the United States Congress. Detroit sent the descendant of Sidi Abdullah, Isa, who wouldn't leave his land even after they shot him multiple times. They thought they could kill us, rape us, imprison us, violently uproot us from our olive tree farms, starve our children to death, and we would disappear. Well, guess what? Now we're in Congress, and we're every corner of the United States. Y'all, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. They will never truly comprehend, Ya Jama'ah, even after 7 decades, that we aren't going anywhere. We are just getting started. I want to say to all of them, every genocide enabler, look at this rooms, motherfuckers. We ain't going anywhere.
Import more of this. Import more of this to America, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good idea.
We are just growing and growing and growing.
Well, I have to say, usually Rashida Tlaib is not very honest, but she was very honest, actually. Yes, motherfucker, you keep growing and growing and growing, and you keep getting fatter and fatter and fatter to the point where the obesity rates in Gaza are reaching new highs. How do I know? Okay. She says, I'm not just a typical Palestina, I'm a falaha. They thought they could kill us, rape us, imprison us, violently uproot us from our olive tree farms. No. Actually, in 1948, your population after the Nakba was 300,000. It's now 6 million. It's now 6 million. During this ongoing genocide in Gaza, you've had 60 to 70,000 babies. There are more people in Gaza today than there was on October 7th. In every single place Palestinians reside near the Jews, Gaza, Israel, Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, there are more Palestinians today than there ever was. You guys, objectively, are retarded. Objectively. I'm not saying it in a sense of being facetious or trying to bully or make fun of you. You are dumb. You are very, very, very stupid human beings. And the problem is, this is the thing. You have a lot of hype right now from random, and I talked about this, random disenfranchised white people in the West who, because we as a society have told these random white people that they suck for the last 10 years, and that's a problem. That was a mistake. We should not have done that as a society. We shouldn't have accepted being able to just call white people colonizers and evil and tell them that they're cultureless and foodless. Because we've done that as a society, we just accepted that that was okay. We're now dealing with an issue where random disenfranchised white people, they feel like they need to fucking grab a kafia and gravitate to these retarded pro-Palestinians just to get an identity. Do you see how many white people were in that crowd who have no connection to the Middle East? But they're just like, yeah, this is like Black Lives Matter all over again, which ended up being a corrupt organization as well. So it's indicative of every movement that sort of aligns itself, and I'm not right or left, like fuck both parties, but any movement that aligns itself on the left ends up being morally corrupt. I believe that on the right as well, by the way. You see what's happening with the woke right, it's the same shit. But anything that ends up aligning with the left, with the woke people on the left, it all ends up being corrupt. Every single part of it. And it's so clear. We've got one last clip to look here from this much glorious Palestine conference. National security alert. All right, let's just fucking watch it before we even read it, because this sounds fun.
Is that 70% of the cost of the F-35 program actually comes from the supply chain. 70% of this $2 trillion that goes into the supply chain is literally because they need to transport the different components of the F-35 to different locations to assemble them. And what's really important for us to know is that the F-35 supply chain functions off of this just-in-time logistics process. It's called this, it's an inventory management system, and it's called just-in-time, which means that it delivers the goods right before they're needed. And it's also noted that for an F-35, for every 1 hour of flight, it actually needs 3 hours of maintenance. So what I'm saying to y'all is that if one specific node of the F-35 supply chain is intervened in, it has a huge impact on our people back home. And so we've really developed a methodology, and then I hope that we can get into this and we can talk about it a bit more through this panel. But what's important for us to know here is that the more that we know, the more that we can do. Knowledge is really power here. And we need to be surgical. We need to be strategic, and we need to be bold in our actions. Because there are many different points of these supply chains of death that we can intervene in, and we must intervene in.
Deport. Just deport. Palestinian youth movement leader Aisha Nizar goes into great detail on how to disrupt the F-35 U.S. defense system. Just call your local Congress people and say, I don't care if she was born in the United States of America. This is a domestic terrorist. Deport. Deport. I'm explaining this to you again, all right? I'm going to explain this to you again. You have to understand this if you live in America or in the West. They're taking over. In their local mosques, they're talking about them taking over. They're proud of it. Okay, they're happy with it. Whether you don't like AIPAC and you don't like all the Jews, and even if you're an anti-Semite, God bless you. You know what? I'm with you. Fuck the Jews. Let's go. Let's pretend we all hate the Jews for a second. I promise you, you prefer the Jews than these people. I promise you. I promise you. At least the Jews are relatively harmless. Relatively harmless. What, do they have irritable bowel syndrome? They have a lot of diarrhea if they eat dairy. And that's it. And they're a little neurotic. But they don't undermine F-35s. That's just not what Jews do. At least not in America. Put us in a corner, we might start undermining F-35 factories. I don't know. But you guys need to have a serious discussion about having to change certain laws on the books to deport people like this. This is a domestic terrorist disrupting U.S. military defense. That is a massive problem. That is a massive issue for you. It doesn't matter how much the power to the people want. If it's coming from an Arab supremacist or Arab colonialist agenda, you need to have a discussion on whether you want that in your country. It's really important. I'm not joking. You have to take this as seriously as possible. Deport, deport, deport. Deport. If it's possible to deport, deport. You don't want this in your country. I promise you, you don't want this in your country. Coming from a brown, more brown than her, Middle Eastern person who lives in the Middle East, you don't want this in your country. There are lovely Muslim people and lovely Arabs from all over the Arab world who would kill to be in America, who wouldn't go to these fucking retarded pro-Palestine conferences wearing a kafia from a country they fucking colonized. And then inciting to stop F-35 manufacturing. Plenty of Arabs all over the Middle East. You could import millions of Mizrahi Jews who are Arabs just like them, according to their fucking retarded agenda. You can import them. They'll be functioning members of society, and I promise you, they will not try to take over F-35 factories, and they come in all shades of brown, all shades of black, Ethiopian Jews as well. You can get all your diversity quota in. Import some Assyrians, Kurdish people, Mandeans, Coptic people. You don't want this. There are plenty of people from the Middle East you can import who will be good members of your society if you want in the West and in America. Wonderful people. Don't import this. This is bad. You don't want this. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, class.
If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.